Lunchtime, kids! All right! Hello, friends. It's lunchtime.
And hello, welcome Monday morning, people. This is Josh. I am here with Zach Lewis and Matt Stoker in the studio, joined with special guest Robin Plotkin, registered dietitian. We have some great things to talk about in the world of culinary, but first, there's egg. Speaking of culinary, egg on my face. I walked in today and I saw the Friday show playing on the screen. Our shows loop in all the time because we like seeing ourselves on TV.
We can't stop watching ourselves.
Yeah.
You
gotta bump up those views. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the exact same shirt as I wore on Friday.
Now you did wash it, right?
Oh yeah, it's clean. It's a clean shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, enough.
How does that happen? So you just did laundry over the weekend,
I
threw
just
it in the
put
closet?
things back. Yeah, I don't remember what shirt I wore when I wore it.
You're on your way.
This is a shirt. It fits. Done. Out the door.
I love that you got in front of that and had something to say, because if I had done that, I would have said nothing and just hoped society didn't notice. And honestly, I don't think they would have. I didn't notice. Matt, did you notice that?
No, I didn't notice, but I will start paying more attention to Josh's wardrobe choices.
That's what we've learned.
Robin said she noticed, and that's the important part.
Okay, well, Robin noticed.
Yeah. So again, I think this is why at Real News Communication Network we need to have a wardrobe budget where we can go out and have clothes sent to us. We're going to be on screen. We need to be able to always have a different shirt every single show.
I think that's great for a sponsorship if somebody would like to provide some clothing provided by whomever.
I don't want to end up wearing like matching polos that say somebody else's logo on there for like a monthly stipend where we sponsor people like NASCAR cars on the lunch break.
That's where you and I are different.
I understand that, yeah.
Robin, thank you so much for joining the show. Sorry for the little sidebar. I just had to get that out there. I don't trust the internet to leave it alone. I knew that somebody would have been all over it. So wanted to be aware.
Yeah.
Are you having a good day?
I'm having a great day.
So you came in for a meeting here at Real News PR, and Jeff grabbed you by the hand, brought you down here. We're so happy to have you in studio.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So what you said that you do is you're not a chef by any means, but you're a phenomenal home chef, and you have a blog, which is called what again?
It's called Robin's Bite.
Robin's Bite.
That's right.
Robin's Bite.
And what you do is you help people cook at home healthily.
Right. But tastefully.
Tastefully, which is the important part. So here's the conundrum at our house. My wife's a vegetarian. I eat like as raw as you can steak. That's where we are. Mm-hmm. And she would go vegan if it wasn't for cheese.
Okay.
Yeah, cheese is her Achilles heel.
It's her vice.
Yeah,
it's
it wasn't for cheese.
Right.
Because everything else she's fine with. She makes she'll make brownies and do all the healthy. Like she'll use, I forget what it's like, some sort of like meal and like ground, like whatever it is. It's
almond flour or something.
Almond
She
flour.
swaps. She does the swaps.
It's never this. She's like, it didn't turn out right. Well, I know why. Because you didn't use eggs or butter, or any of the things that make brownies taste amazing. But she's always trying to find healthier ways to have what she loves every day. So what's something that you can tell people that when you go to your blog, they'll find and be able to reproduce pretty easily?
Here's the thing about cooking. It's not as easy as people think it is. And my goal really is to help people find a way to put a healthy, tasteful meal on the table. It's going to be 5, 6, 7 ingredients max. It's going to be ingredients that you can find in any store. You don't have to go to Amazon to order them or go to a specialty store necessarily. And the way that I create my recipes is the way that you would do it in the kitchen. So I'm trying to take the fear out of it. I'm trying to make it easy. I'm trying to make it fun. You know, that's what cooking is, especially nowadays. We're kind of coming back to cooking and breaking bread, like we talked about a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And that's an important part of community.
Sure.
Which circles in, you know, with health overall.
I think the most interesting thing out of that you said was that you're trying to make it fun. Something I've noticed with people I know who don't particularly enjoy cooking, it's something I've been trying to come around more on lately, is that it feels like work. Like, I get home after a long day, I don't want to throw on an apron and slave in the kitchen and scrub dishes. Like, that's a whole hassle. So what do you do to kind of bridge that gap and say, okay, it's not work, all right? It is pleasant. It's a fun experience. What's the secret?
I'm no different than you. I'm the same way. I work full time. I've got a family. You know, maybe you don't, but you're busy. I use convenience products. There's nothing wrong with that. We use paper plates at my house. There's nothing wrong with that. And hey, if you don't do the dishes that night, it's okay to save them for the next morning.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
I can too.
What do you think of services like, I don't know, like meal prep services? Because that's got to be something you've talked about lately. Things like
Blue Apron,
or HelloFresh, or there's a couple others. Yeah, those seem to be picking up steam. What are those about?
Those are, like you said, services where you can order online and have the food come directly to your house. There's different levels of cooking, though, I will tell you that. And a lot of people are very surprised when they get the ingredients full and then they have to then take them out of the box and do the preparation.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like that. That's not cool. They thought it was going to come pretty much already done. And for a lot of different reasons, it's really tough for that to happen. A lot of people now are using chefs to make their own meals. They deliver them and they're ready to go. Literally lift off the lid, put them on a plate or not.
Sure.
Microwave them, heat them up in your oven, and you're good to go. And then there's obviously the places where you can just walk in and buy food already prepared. It's calorie restricted. It might be gluten-free or whatever type of diet you're following. It's already done for you. So there's a lot of different ways to eat today than there were even 5 years ago.
Do you prefer, because I know for me, the problem with a Blue Apron was the cost. You end up paying a lot for 3 meals.
Right.
So does your blog help people, like say, hey, like, is there a cost-efficient way of doing that? And this, like, when everyone's like trying to worry about their budget or getting things priced out, is there a way? Because I've always heard the reason why McDonald's is a number one go-to is because it's cheap.
Right.
And so is there a way to eat healthy and still watch how much you spend?
Absolutely. And if you think about it, the healthiest foods are really some of the most inexpensive foods there are. Eggs, potatoes, bananas, fruits, vegetables. You don't have to go and buy the most expensive ingredients out there. And odds are when people do that, they either don't know how to prepare it correctly and they wind up ruining it, which is, in my opinion, devastating, or they wind up wasting it. So you really have to think about budget-wise. Is it worth it for me to buy all of this, let's say, fresh fruit and vegetable, only eat half of it and then throw it away?
Yeah.
Or is it worth it to maybe buy those Blue Aprons, eat what's given to me, know that it's portion controlled or whatever I have leftovers for tomorrow, and how does that affect my pocketbook? Food waste is a very big topic right now.
Yeah.
It definitely has been in my household for the last 2 years, and I am making very specific strides to decrease the amount of food waste in my house. Everybody wastes food across the board, but there are things that you can do, even small things, to make sure that that doesn't happen. And thinking about, I need to go to the grocery store, I need to spend X amount of dollars. If you're going to throw that stuff away, first of all, you're not going to get the nutrition from it, right? It's in the trash.
Yeah.
And 2, maybe it's better off buying it from the grocery store already prepared.
That's true.
Yeah.
Robin, I appreciate you coming on the show. This was phenomenal. Again, it's Robin's Bite.
Correct.
That's all the social media, and that's, I'm sure, Facebook and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. So go there, check it out. Check out her blog. A lot of great stuff to say. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
When we come back, we're going to talk about if you're not a morning person, having a hard time waking up every day, we have one trick that'll help turn that around. Coming back on Real News Lunch Break Show. And we are back on the RNC and Lunch Break Show. Again, I am Josh. We do this show every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Except for this Friday, we're off for Good Friday. I'm always joined in studio with Zach Lewis and Matt Stoker. We're going to get to some Facebook comments real quick. Apparently, the comment section was blowing up.
Some hot debate. Not really debate, but yeah, there were a lot of people in there. I didn't know where to jump in. I'm trying to do it off my iPhone, and I'm a mess.
Yeah, so first of all, Samantha on Facebook calling us out saying we always just wear plaid, so it doesn't really matter if we change shirts. I know, Zach, you're not part of the plaid crew today.
I try not to be. I wear a lot of plaid. That's fair.
I do have a lot of plaid shirts. I like them. I think they look good.
First off, a lot of button-ups are plaid, okay?
That's
and button-up
true.
is a good business casual. And secondly, and I'm going to be honest here, plaid's a little slimming. Just going to throw it, all right?
You get the vertical lines.
Take that what you will. Yeah, do with that what you will. Yeah. I'm a fan of the plaid, all right? For everybody out there who's plaid hater, get out of here, all right? We don't need you or your comments. Actually, I'm kidding. Throw us a like.
Sarah Crilly saying, yeah, she tried Blue Apron and liked it. They're trying to make as many meals at the dinner table and have no TV, no cell phones. That's a whole other discussion that I guess we won't get
that
into
is
right
another
now.
discussion. We should get into that at some point. Not now. Later. We
try it, but it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
Samantha also saying they're working through the America's Test Kitchen cookbook.
Test Kitchen.
They did try Blue Apron. She said she didn't like it because there was a lot of packaging waste, which I've heard. There are other meal prep services that don't have that problem, so you don't have to use Blue Apron if you don't want to.
I think Samantha's the kind of person that uses like reusable bags when she goes to the grocery store, so I could totally get behind the packaging waste thing. Like, I get it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with reusable bags.
No, nothing at all. No, that's a good thing. I wish I did that.
And then Andy saying rice cooker for the win. So
rice cooker for the win.
Yep.
Andy's too lazy to cook rice. The man eats Huel. All right. Like he's buying rice and cooking it. What does he know? Yeah.
How is it hard to cook rice in a rice cooker?
No, it's not. It's easy, but that's a whole other. You know what? Next time we have Andy in studio, we'll talk about Huel and what that's all about.
He needs to come on and defend a bunch of comments he's made.
That. Yeah, that's true. We're gonna have an Andy Inquisition.
So moving on.
We have Dallas Startup Week in the wings. We're waiting to come in and do their next segment. They're going to be talking about Dallas Startup Week, so that's exciting. But before that, I promised to talk about how to help be a morning person. Are either one of you a morning person?
No.
I like it when I am. There are days when, say on the weekend, I happen to wake up at 7 a.m. or something and I'm up. It feels like my day is so much longer. I mean, it is.
Right.
Because I'm not sleeping until noon or whatever like I used to in college. But yeah, I'm not. I have a really hard time waking up in the morning.
To be fair, and we all did morning radio at some point. Matt, you did, right? You done a morning radio shift. Yeah. So we've all had to be some kind of morning person.
Morning radio is way different than being a morning person, though. That's like... Yeah, that's like getting up and going. I don't even know what to compare it to. Getting up at 3 in the morning is not the same as waking up and just being in a good mood. I don't think you can be in a good mood if you wake up at 3 in the morning.
I'm the same as you. I like doing it. I'm just not good at it. So whatever this trick is, I'm hoping will enlighten me.
So I read this and I brought it up for this reason. One is to kind of make fun of it because I think it's a horrible trick.
Okay.
But what Matt just said, it could actually work. What they're saying is wake up earlier.
Wake up
I don't
earlier.
know how that works.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
But they said the trick is
not a morning person, be even more of a morning person.
Get up early.
No, it says to wake up early, and because they say what happens normally is when you're not a morning person because you can't ever seem to catch up, right?
Yeah.
You can't ever seem to get a hold of your day.
Right.
And so you always feel like, man, I'm falling behind. So instead, wake up and have time for mindfulness meditation. Everyone preaches meditation, and I'm sure there's somebody in our office that does this.
I'm sure.
I can't get behind it. I just can't get behind me sitting still for 10 minutes saying and putting my middle finger and thumb together.
I don't think you have to do it that way.
That's how I would have to do it. I don't think that's how I would gain. But everyone, I read books all the time that talk about. It's so important to have meditation and just mindfulness all the time is important to your well-being and productivity and all those different things. But that's what it says. Yeah. It says wake up early and have at least 5 to 10 minutes of mindful meditation where you can figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to accomplish it. And then you can get up and hit the ground running.
A man on Facebook saying, I meditate.
Yeah,
so
Samantha
yes, we
said
were right.
that too.
So yeah.
Somebody in the office, yes.
Yeah. And so they're saying that's what it takes. Obviously, for Amanda, she's very productive, and so she's not like a slacker. So it does work for a lot of people. Mindful meditation does work. I can't get behind it.
Heath Oakes does this on Second Shot, and he's clearly very successful. So there's got to be something to it. I don't think meditating in the morning would work. Because I feel like I'd just go back to sleep.
I'm going to meditate lying. Yeah. Well, the thing is, you have to get up.
Right.
You can't lay in bed and be mindful. Yeah.
But even then, I'm one of those people, I'll fall asleep anywhere doing anything.
I do 8 minutes
I
of
can
meditation
sleep through anything.
Between the snooze button.
I could fall asleep
morning.
sitting cross-legged, sitting up, meditating. If I'm closing my eyes and listening to peaceful music or whatever it is you do when you meditate, I feel like that would just lull me right back to sleep.
I think we identified you put your middle finger and thumb together and you say,
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's what you have to do when you meditate. I just feel like getting up and sitting down, and there are times that I do that. I don't call it meditation, but I just sit there for a second when I'm extremely stressed out or when I got a lot going on. I say take a second to breathe, which is what they say exactly what meditation is.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's just breathing, being hey, I'm gonna take it down a notch and look from this issue that I'm facing from a different angle. But it helps. But I don't know.
I do think, as stupid as it sounds, just getting up is one of the biggest things you can do to be a morning person. Because I fight with the snooze button all the time.
Yeah.
I did for a while. Shout out to the rock clock. I was using the rock clock for a
while. The rock clock?
Yes, it's an alarm clock made by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Okay.
And it has no snooze button, so you have to get up, and you get an inspirational message every morning from The Rock. And you can set it to rock time, so you wake up at the same time as The Rock if you want. Otherwise, you just set it to your own self.
This sounds like a gimmick.
What time does The Rock wake up?
It's usually 4 a.m.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I never did rock time.
The guy's got to get 8 hours of gym in a day. Are these inspirational messages like a magic 8 ball? Are there 6 of them and it just cycles through?
No, man, he was recording. I haven't watched it in a while, but he was recording messages. It wasn't personalized, but it was just he would say something every morning. He'd be at the gym, hitting up the gym, and you guys go out and kill it today.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, Rock, I'm going to go out and kill it today.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You got it.
As I roll over and eat cold pizza off the side of the bed.
The rock clock. What is it, Wi-Fi connected so we can update messages? How does that work?
Well, no, it was just an app. So it was.
Okay.
Yeah. So he would just load, like Instagram, he would just load a video. But yeah, the biggest thing was not having a snooze button. So knowing I had to, if I didn't get up, if I went back to sleep, there was nothing that was going to wake me back up until I woke up naturally.
Right.
So just doing that much, just saying I have to get out of bed and fight through the 5-10 minutes of just wanting desperately to go back to bed, and then I was fine. You know, that worked for me.
I am a heavy sleeper. The greatest thing, like for an alarm clock, for being a heavy sleeper, is having somebody in the house who's a light sleeper, because I don't have to worry about alarm clocks, because the person next to me will wake up and they'll just let me know what's going on, and I'm awake. It's the greatest.
Yeah.
Oh man, you can't beat it. I don't know if you two have that problem.
Yeah,
but
my wife's a super light sleeper. I'm a super heavy sleeper.
Yeah.
But she hates it.
Oh
Like,
no, Christine hates it too. Yeah, no, it's the worst.
So you can't say it's the greatest thing in the world if your significant other is like mad at because back when I was getting up at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh man, because it takes her forever to go back to sleep.
Right.
And so what was not only am I up at 4 a.m. now I have to wait till 6 to fall back asleep. And yeah, she was never happy about that arrangement. Because
Well,
for
that
a
is a
while,
hassle.
for a while I had to have 3 alarm clocks to get out of bed because I slept in a couple days.
It's hard.
And when you're doing
it's hard.
morning shows,
morning radio is hard. It's a tough gig that I am convinced that even the people who've done it all their lives, you never really get used to it. You never get to a point where that makes sense.
it just sucks less.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's never good. It just sucks less.
It doesn't get easier. You just get more beaten down by it.
Right,
I know
yeah.
Samantha in the comments mentioned she would teach us how to meditate at some point. That might be a bit.
Yeah.
Can we do some meditation on the air? Is that?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'd
why
make
not?
a bit of that.
Absolutely.
Why not? I don't know.
I could do it with a quick nap.
There you go. Yeah.
I will say Nick
Can we get
Nielsen.
some-
Nick Nielsen putting props up for the rock clock. He says the battle cat tune wakes him up. That was the other thing, was that it had a bunch of different alarm tunes, and it was like jungle sounds or hardcore. Like you could wake up and it sounded like there was you were being surrounded by animals or something like
It was
that.
like officially licensed Jumanji. Welcome to the jungle.
No, this was before
Rock
Jumanji.
clock
so this
feature.
was-
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'll have to. I'll dig it up during the break.
Yeah,
and
what
we'll
is
play
this? An
some-
app? Is this?
Yeah.
I'll check that out. The rock clock. Yeah,
The
I can
rock
get into
clock.
that.
Oh my
Everybody
God.
get on the rock clock.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, though, we have the Dallas Startup Week is in studio with Rachel and Lindsay. They're gonna be talking about all things startup and what to be expecting when you guys start, which is I think next Monday. So
Yes.
coming back. And we are back on the Real News Lunch Break Show. I am in studio with our special guest, Lindsay and Rachel of Dallas Startup Week. How's it going, ladies?
It's going great.
Yeah.
Exciting. You're getting down to the wire here. We're like, what, 1 week out?
Yeah.
Yeah, this time next week, you guys are going to be just mass chaos running around trying to figure this thing out. So
Organized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
organized
Come on
chaos.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. Structured chaos.
It's already starting.
So what's something that people can expect besides, what's something that people can expect from this year that was different than last year from Dallas Startup Week?
So a couple things. One, we decided to diversify geographically. So normally Dallas Startup Week is predominantly held in downtown, and this year we opened it up for venues outside of downtown Dallas to participate. So we'll have some sessions up in Frisco, Addison, Richardson, Arlington, downtown.
Even at the Rangers Stadium?
Yeah, potentially. Still holding out on that one. But
Oh wow.
But we decided to spread out and make it more inclusive since it is Dallas Startup Week. We wanted to include all of Dallas. So that's one thing that's different. Also, we added a couple new tracks this year. So we added capital funding, corporate innovation, and emerging tech. So
now,
those are 3 new tracks this
for
year.
someone, so I've never been before.
Great, neither have I.
Yeah. What's something that, when you say tracks, I don't know what a track is.
So the track is basically the industry category that everything falls under. So we have 16 this year. So a track is art and music or real estate. It's basically the industry, but we call it a track.
That's cool. And then who needs to be going? Like, who's there and says, hey, you know what, if you're starting a business, because you think Dallas Startup Week, so like entrepreneurs, like what stage of the game do people need to be in before they come down to y'all's place?
Yeah, so actually this year we made an effort to, our theme kind of centers around being inclusive of all stages of entrepreneurship. So everyone from somebody who's exploring the idea of potentially starting their own business all the way to companies and entrepreneurs who are championing the startup community. So really across the spectrum, if you are wanting to see what's new in the startup world, or you want to learn more about how to grow your business, it's really across the spectrum this year.
That's great.
I think it's easy for a lot of people to assume that something like Dallas Startup Week just involves a lot of startups, right? Small companies, kind of people who are just getting into the business, and it seems like something that would be relatively easy to organize, but it's not. You guys do this like all year, right? And you got a lot of professionals. Last year you had Paul Bettner from Playful. You had Patrick Lee, one of the co-founders of Rotten Tomatoes. It was really cool. We got to talk to him. So who are you guys getting this year, and how do you kind of get into that process of finding these people?
So a couple of the fun speakers that we're going to have this year, Darren Woodson from the Cowboys will be doing our keynote on Tuesday night. So he has recently started a company, so he'll be speaking more from an entrepreneurial perspective. Sure. We also have Kara Golden of Hint Water.
Wow.
Jill Ford of Toyota is going to be there. And just a bunch of other like really big name people in the entrepreneurial world. So
that is very exciting. I know in the years previous, and how long has it been going on, Dallas Startup Week?
I believe we're on our 4th or 5th.
I was going to say, I thought there was like 4 or 5.
This is the 4th year, I believe.
Oh, wow.
My 3rd year. So.
I know in the past you've kind of focused on keeping things in one central location, making things easy to walk to, but you've wanted to spread out. I remember last year when we talked to you, that was exactly the idea. It's like we need to branch out a little bit and make this a little bit more Dallas exclusive. How do you think that'll affect kind of how many people make events and stuff? You got people all over the place.
I'm sure there's 2 camps on this one.
Yeah.
I think that the nice part about it is that it has made it more inclusive for people who live in the suburb areas or outside of Dallas proper. They're just as important to the entrepreneurial community as the people that work in downtown. And then the other camp would say that, no, why aren't we keeping it in one spot this year? So we decided that we just wanted to try and make it more inclusive. We're trying it out this year. And we try to keep sessions all in hub areas. Like, so if we're not having an event in Addison every single day, we try to plan all of our sessions in a certain like area all at the same time so that people can kind of stick around one node and move around. We also have base camp in downtown again. So Ross Tower is going to be our Chase base camp for the year. So they've given us like 100,000 square feet to use. It's insane. So it's going to be a lot of fun to have it there this year.
Did you try to categorize tracks in areas, like specifically or Capital Ventures, like out in Frisco, or is it kind of just a little bit of everything all over?
It's a little bit of everything all over, but the one track specifically that's kind of geared towards one area is the gaming track. Yeah. It'll be mostly in Frisco because that's where the most predominant gaming area is.
There's a lot. I'm gonna have to make it out to Frisco.
And gaming, you mean like video gaming?
All across esports,
sure.
All across the board.
There's some big developers out there.
Are there?
There are. Yeah. 2K Games is out there. id is out there.
2K's out there?
The guys that made Doom. No, they're out in.
Sorry, we can get off topic with.
I can talk about video games forever. Yeah,
I apologize.
National Video Game Museum's out there.
Yeah. So we're gonna be out there actually on Monday all day. Popping around, so you can try to come find us out there. We're going to do a 2-hour version of this show live out there, and then we're going to be out just doing random pop-ins as well. So we look forward to doing that and spending time with you guys more. And this is going to be in the downtown the Dallas location. We won't be going to any of the cool hubs in Frisco. Sorry, Zach. No video gaming.
Was this
for
Monday?
Us. Yeah.
I haven't been feeling very well. I might be coming down with something come Monday.
Exactly. But before we go, what's like the one thing that you think people, what are you excited about this year?
I think for me, so I'm actually a newcomer to the whole startup entrepreneurial scene. I worked in the architecture industry a year ago, so complete departure. So it'll actually be my first startup week, and I'm just excited to see just the collaboration and energy that comes out of it. I know a lot of people who have attended in the past says it's a real game changer for them. Some of my coworkers said it really changed the trajectory of their startups.
That's great.
After the week was over. So I'm excited to see and hear some of the stories that come out of that.
So if they haven't bought tickets yet, where do they go to buy tickets?
Yeah, so we have a website, DallasStartupWeek.com, that has all of our registration and schedule information on it. So that's the best place to go. We just released a roadmap to a successful startup week. So you can find that on our website, and it will walk you through everything that you need to know.
I highly suggest. Oh, sorry, Zach. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if you're watching on Facebook, hit the link in the comments. We already got one.
Oh,
look
boom.
at that. How about that?
We are
production
on
value?
top of it.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
So so if you're thinking about it in any way capacity, no matter what stage you are in your business, it's something that you definitely want to go check out. Hop online, see if it's for you. Buy your tickets. Coming out Monday with us. You can hang out with us. Maybe we'll buy you a Starbucks. Who knows? It's crazy.
I mean, I'll take you up on that.
Right. Done.
Don't tell people buy them Starbucks. What are you doing?
Hey, I only have X amount on my credit
If you
card,
come
so at some
out,
point in
sure.
time,
Yeah, Josh will buy you a Starbucks.
Yeah, at some point in time, we'll get capped on that. So again, thank you guys so much for going. Go to the site, and we'll see you guys on Monday.
Sounds great.
And we are back on the lunch break show. We are here again every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 12 to 1. I am Josh with Zach Lewis and Matt Stoker. We have an update. If you listened earlier, Matt was talking about the app on his phone that got him out of bed, which was the Rock Clock.
Trademark.
Yeah, trademark.
Yeah.
We have an update on the Rock Clock.
Yeah, a very sad update, actually.
What?
So I noticed whenever I updated my phone that the Rock Clock did not transfer over.
What?
So I went digging through the App Store, and it is gone.
The Rock Clock?
No more Rock Clock. It is, and no one seems to have an answer. A top search on Google is what happened to the Rock Clock.
Right.
And the Rock Clock is just apparently no more.
How deep into that before it became a top search? Like how deep into the what happened to the Rock Clock?
I searched the Rock Clock, or the Rock Clock, and one of the top things was what happened to the Rock Clock.
Couple things. One, was this like a limited time event thing? Was this just like, oh, just for
that I'm aware of
a month?
It was not sold to me as that.
And two, yeah, speaking of what was sold to you, so much for all those motivational quotes about getting up and not giving in. What happened to the rock clock?
I guess we gave up.
That thing was an institution. Yeah. People depended on that.
I assume if you still have it, you still get it. Now, I don't know if he's still doing live updates to it anymore. I guess not, if it's not around anymore.
There was some guy, the only thing that gets me out of bed every day is this app. And then
they wouldn't pull the rug out.
You know, it's so funny because I was thinking during this bit, but I didn't want to be cynical when we were talking about the rock clock. I was like, as The Rock, I like to imagine Dwayne The Rock Johnson goes to the gym every morning. He's excited. He's a funny guy. He likes people. He records this thing, and he's like, this is going to motivate people. This is going to get him up. And then on the other hand, the cynical side of me is like, you know that guy hates recording those things, right? Every day he's probably at the gym like, oh, God, I got to do another one of these motivational quotes for people for the stupid rock clock. And if it's gone, I'm starting to think maybe that's true. Maybe he hated doing it. Maybe he was just over it. I don't know. Maybe he got over his little pep project.
You don't think he gets up every day and actually records those, right?
I mean, you see what I mean?
Well, no, so what
the
would
cynical
happen?
side of me wants to believe that it's like exactly as I think.
He sat down for a 1 hour session and read like 1,000 motivational things.
No, so here's what would happen is he would, you could tell he was doing it either the night before but a lot of times, like if he was shooting a movie, he would do one from set.
Yeah.
And so, Kevin Hart or whatever would be on the thing with him. So clearly they were updated at some point. And then every now and then it would just be like a slate that would just say, hey, go be your best today. But for the most part, he was doing live update, or not live updates, but he was doing them, whenever he got up or the night before.
Yeah.
So they were videos. Okay. They weren't just audio files.
No, yeah, they were videos.
Really?
Yeah, they were just like an Instagram video.
I'm so bummed I missed the rock clock. Like, where was I?
It was a moment in time.
Where were you?
It was a beautiful moment in time. And it's all gone now. You can't get it back.
Yeah, like Nicholas Nielsen said on Facebook. No. Bummer.
And then you found a story that you wanted to bring up.
I didn't find a story. I had a story happen to me.
Happened to you. Perfect.
Yeah,
Best kind of story.
This is from real life. Real life.
This really happened.
Yeah. So this weekend, a new dessert shop opened up in town. The cookie dough shop.
I'm listening.
Well, it's not called the cookie dough shop.
No, it's not called the cookie dough shop. I'm not giving them a free plug.
All right. Yeah, sure.
So
they're good enough for a story, but like, God forbid we plug them. Okay. Fair enough. No. It's a cookie dough shop.
Well, look, this is not a flattering story about them.
Do they sell just prepackaged cookie dough? What kind of?
No, they sell cookie dough as if it were an ice cream.
Right.
So it is safe to eat. So there's no raw eggs in it. But it tastes just like cookie dough. It has the consistency of cookie dough, and they scoop it to you. It's delicious. Like, I'm just gonna say, it's delicious.
Right. There was a video going around on Facebook for a while, and the whole angle was like, it's this shop in New York that is like an ice cream shop with ice cream scoops and everything, but it's cookie dough.
Yeah.
One of these opened in town. We have one now, which is awesome, and that's what this place is.
Right down the street from it, Josh.
Yeah. What? It's very close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right next to where we went to. Never mind. Go on with your story. I don't want to tell people where it is. You're right. It's fine. I don't want to give them a plug. Yeah.
So we go. We want to try this thing out. It's good. Or it looks good. We haven't tried it, but we were going to a birthday party the next day, and we said, hey, these folks like to go get a dessert. We'll get them a gift card here. Maybe they'll enjoy it.
Sure.
So we do that. We order the gift card, and in handing us both the gift card and our debit card back, I'm going to do this for the camera because it was aggravating.
All right.
The guy behind the cashier, the guy behind the register, handed it to us like this. Like
Josh, you got to get a look at this.
Like he was presenting us a ceremonial sword.
Right.
Like he handed us the gift card this way, and then when we got back our debit card, he handed us our debit card this way, both hands, which made me, being completely socially awkward, grab it back from him with both hands. And then as we left, I said to my wife, did that annoy you as much as it annoyed me? Because it drove me absolutely crazy. And I know it shouldn't, but it was one of those little things like, why are you handing me the card this way? What is wrong with you?
Right. That's very curious.
I don't know why you would do that. I don't know why. Why wouldn't you just hand it back with one hand, like I gave it to you, like a normal person?
Right. Why present it two-handed? What is that about?
Yeah, I don't get it at all. And it was very gingerly balanced on his fingertips.
Sure.
As if it were, again, like some sort of thing that he was presenting me.
I've only ever seen this one other point in my life. Only once in the wild I've seen this. Yeah? It's at a local donut shop, okay? That's every morning when I go get donuts, the woman there, it's this sweet old lady. That's how she gives the card back. She also doesn't speak English very well. So I would presume it's like a cultural thing. Like,
So,
it's a presentation of a service.
Well,
offered.
Amanda,
Like, that was my guess.
Amanda on Facebook says maybe he lived in Japan for a while. This was a 17-year-old kid from Highland Park.
That was my guess.
A
on the donut
17-year-old
shop.
white kid from Highland Park. He did not spend many years in Japan learning how to
You
hand
don't
back
know
cards.
his backstory.
He did not. He did not. I'm not buying it. There's no way he did it. Now, I understand if it's a cultural thing, then that's fine. This kid, he hasn't been outside of North Dallas his entire life.
Right.
So
how busy was this shop?
I was
there a
busy.
bunch of
Yeah,
people?
it was very busy.
Okay, and
This place is packed.
Yeah, right. There's probably only one kid. Was one register, right?
Yeah.
Everybody had to pass through this individual.
Yeah.
So he's doing this with everybody.
Yeah.
It wasn't just
There's
you.
a lot of people out there that share the same story. I guarantee you.
And it doesn't seem to be any kind of cultural implication.
I don't think so.
Maybe he just dropped the card too many times, and so his hands from all the oil on the cookie dough. He's like, you know what? I want to make sure I get as much grease on there as possible.
Yeah.
I want to hand him the card with two hands. Maybe he's a sweet kid and just kept dropping cards.
It was like he had never held a debit card in his life. That's what it felt like to me.
I don't want to say he was messing with you because I don't know. But like when I was
I
17,
thought it was a bit. I thought it was a bit.
When I was 17 and working at the movies, like I did stupid stuff like that all the time to mess with people. One time, like working at the movies, right? I'd have to serve popcorn for one night just for fun. I held the popcorn scoop backwards just to see how many people would say something, and of course people did. It was just a bit, and other people didn't, and I was like, they're just gonna wonder. Oh, they're gonna spend the rest of the evening thinking like, is that kid an idiot? Why doesn't he know to do that right? Like, so that's my guess is to like this is the only reason I could think he would do that, other than
if it was a bit, it was brilliantly done, and I commend him.
Other than complete ignorance, like and just doesn't know any better somehow.
So I guess everyone does because I thought this was a unique thing. Apparently, everyone does the bit thing because when I worked at a job, I won't even say which job.
Okay.
Worked at a job. There was a person who answered the phone, and so I would go up there on my lunch break, and we'd make them play a game. When they answered the phone, they always we would roll the dice, and they had to do whatever accent came up on the dice.
Oh my god!
Because here's the deal: like no one's gonna question you over the phone. No one's gonna be like, "Is this a bit?" Because they don't know.
Right.
They don't know, and so
right, they can't see who's on the other end of the phone.
and so they don't want to be offensive. I think people's overwhelming need not to be offensive made that hysterical for me.
Okay, give me some context on this. What was this like? Was this a phone call like casual, like a pizza delivery place, or was
No,
this like
it was a business.
call center service?
It was an international business.
Okay,
a
this was like
legitimate business.
This was like a real stand-up adult job.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Real
what
adult job.
Can you hit me with some of the accents on the list?
We had.
Like how difficult were these? You see, like that's what I'm getting at.
I'll say this: it was difficult to do them well.
Okay, that's
You don't have to do them, but what,
yeah. I think we had
Swiss on there.
no
German
German was on there.
German's
French was on there.
Yeah.
Spanish was on there. Canadian, which is a fun one, was on there.
Oh, everybody overdoes that one. Everybody always overdoes that one. Yeah.
How you doing, eh? Yeah.
Lots of boots.
Yeah. The Canadian was fun. We did just random ones.
Sure.
You know. So I thought it was a classic bit.
Sure.
It made my lunch go by so much faster.
Right.
Just sitting here watching this person. Because again, they could hold it too. They didn't like break ever. So even the person would they would have to repeat the question over and over again. It was an awful impression, but they owned it.
I did that all the time to stay sane. My previous job was I was a producer for an afternoon talk show, so I was answering the phones.
Sure.
I was talking to callers, and so we would do bits on them constantly just to not go crazy. And either the host would pick up and pretend to be me and do an absolutely terrible accent. I don't even know. I don't think I sounded that way at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't think you have an accent at all.
But you'd like hick it up really bad and talk to them and pretend to be me, or we would just set the phone down and let them talk and just throw in some uh-huhs every now and then.
I'm glad to know that the entire world then is just totally immature and just because someone's in their 30s doesn't mean they're an adult.
No,
that's a safe.
None of us
bet.
have it figured out. You guys were you ever good at the prank call? Because
No.
my kryptonite was breaking. I'd always break. I could never hold it together. Like I'd always laugh or do something.
I wasn't quick
stupid.
enough at the prank call. I was
No.
never quick enough to come up with a good response.
I had the wit, but I didn't have the ability.
Right.
I could lie really easily.
Yeah.
But it just never. Some reason I never took off and never did well at that. When we come back, we're going to talk about a new dating experience that may make most Americans feel uncomfortable. That's on the Real News Lunch Break Show. Coming right back after this. All right, we are back on the Lunch Break Show. Again, I am Josh here with Zach Lewis and Matt Stoker. We're doing this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 12 to 1, except for this Friday.
Except for this Friday.
We are off for Good Friday, and then we're joined on Monday with a 2-hour show from 11 to 1. So that's going to be a startup week.
You know what else bums me out we're not going to be here for Friday? Only because I'd like to have like the sensation of sitting at home at noon and I'm like, oh, the lunch break is on, and like checking it out. Like that would be nice instead of being on it.
Watch
but
the show.
I do enjoy it. Right, yeah.
Feel free.
I do enjoy being on it. So I'll
Maybe we can run a rerun.
Yeah, there you go. Can we do that? A Facebook Live rerun?
A best of.
A best of.
Best of break.
Love a good best of.
So this new dating trend, Zach swears it's not a trend. It's a new dating trend in the UK.
Yeah.
And it is growing like wildfire. And it is a dating service that I think cuts to the chase of what every date is about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is called nude speed dating.
It's not a trend.
It's a trend.
No, it's not.
You don't have your finger on the pulse of the UK people like I do.
It's not a thing.
Yeah.
We're not going to let it be a thing. Go ahead. Explain.
Here's
please.
the whole deal. You've all done speed dating before. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but you are aware of what speed dating is. Mm-hmm. So now what they've done is they've taken speed dating and they just removed your clothes.
Right.
So it's nude speed dating.
Nude speed dating.
Which
that is not a picture of it up there, by the way.
God. Yeah. Which I think ultimately for a lot of people on a first date is what you spend a large portion of your time thinking about or talking about. It's just trying to wonder what they're like in that particular stance.
Sure.
So it cuts to the chase. You see them and go, yeah, okay, or no, I'm good.
This has to appeal to people who would go to like a nudist resort or something like that, right? Like it's not going to capture people who just want to go do this, right? The normal dating person is not just going to sign up for this, are they?
But they're not doing they're not doing a nudist like age group. They're doing 25 to 35-year-olds. And they're just, they say they're a completely normal crowd. They just want to the clothes are really awkward, and so everyone is automatically going to be more uncomfortable because they're not wearing clothes. So it kind of evens the playing field. You're all going into it kind of like, but you get, they say, much more real conversation.
Before I dip into why this doesn't work, first, Samantha Knight said it's not a trend. I agree it's not a trend, but I should clarify. By trend, I mean like a thing. It's not a real thing. Like this isn't going to be a thing that people do regularly. I don't think this is going to pick up and take off like wildfire. You're singing there?
Yeah, wildfire.
I think this kind of thing attracts two kinds of people, all right? On the one hand, you've got the casual dater who thinks this is going to give them an edge and really thinks they're ready for it, but totally aren't. And they're going to end up in a room, nude, with a bunch of other people, just super uncomfortable and like crossing their legs, not knowing if they should do that when other people do it. Is it cool to cross your legs when everybody's naked? Like, you don't know the best.
Why wouldn't it be cool?
You don't know the best way to deal with it, and therefore, you won't be presenting the best version of yourself, nude or otherwise. And versus going to like a casual speeding thing where you're wearing whatever you want and you feel great and you look great. You're going to be naked and you're going to be like,
is it not
just
okay
naked
to
and
cover up
afraid.
at the
No.
So you can't, I couldn't like hold my hands or
You see what I
do
mean?
anything like that.
Yeah, where do you put your hands? Like, do you just put them on the
Do you
side?
often put your hands
Do you go
over
up
that
here?
area of your body? When
No,
on
but
a
you're
date?
naked. I'm also not normally naked in public. That's the issue.
Here's the problem. There's going to be one dude, you might be about to say, there's going to be one dude who's way into this
Exactly.
thing and makes the whole thing uncomfortable.
The other person who's going to be there, the other kind of individual, is the insane nutcase who thinks it's cool and is totally into it. The adrenaline junkie. The person chasing that high. The kind of person you would never want to date and in no way should be at an event for speed dating. That's why this whole thing doesn't work.
Do any of y'all have any experience at an actual facility?
None at all. Never
What, a
once.
facility for what? What are you talking
For
about?
a nudist colony.
No,
Oh, I
no,
thought you
no.
meant for speed dating. No, neither
So
that
I've had
either, yeah.
both. I've
Really?
had both.
Okay.
Naturally. All right.
Well, don't say
let's go.
naturally.
Now
like
we've
that.
got a conversation. Yeah.
So
You were the guy that we were talking about.
You're that guy. Yeah.
No, for the speed dating, it was a radio bit, and I had to
Sure.
go do a speed dating. And even though I took it like a bit, so I was kind of like making jokes and stuff, and everyone knew I was there from the radio station to help fill a seat. It still hurt my feelings that no one picked me at the end of the night.
That does hurt.
How speed dating works is you get like to pick 3 people, and then everyone, if your picks match up, then you go on an actual date.
Right.
So there was like 20 of us, and what I'm telling myself.
Do they do this at there, or do you find out later?
They tell you, like, you get a little sheet.
I was going to say, yeah, if you look in the picture you've got, you can throw it on stream. You've got like cards that you can write on, right?
So everyone has a you're like cattle. Everyone has a number, and you go, I like number 20, number 45, number whatever it was. And if they wrote down the same number for you, if the numbers match, boom, you get their info, they get your info, and you're set.
Yeah.
So for me,
you find out when this is over. So this is like being on the playground, not being. Everybody knows you were not picked for kickball.
It's like getting Valentine's in elementary school. Like everybody drops in your box, and you get like 2. Yeah.
So what I'm telling myself is everyone knew I was a radio bit, and they didn't want to like waste their pick on me.
Okay.
That's what I'm telling myself, so I don't cry. This again was a long time ago.
I don't think that was it. I have a counter argument. I'll bet people didn't want to pick you because they were afraid you'd talk about it on the radio. You're too popular. You have a megaphone. Never mess with the man with the microphone.
That is true.
And if they wanted a date with you, they'd end up on the air.
Both of those
in some
are good
embarrassing fashion. So yeah, that's my bet anyway.
And then as far as the experience at a colony, it was accidental.
No.
Yes.
No, you don't accidentally show up at a nudist colony.
I'll tell you
don't take a wrong turn.
No.
Yeah. Whoops.
We have 5 minutes, and I'll tell you the story. So,
please do.
In Austin, there's a place called Hippie Hollow.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And Hippie Hollow is a nudist beach.
Yeah.
You can go and hang out there. I had no idea that Hippie Hollow was a nudist beach.
When was this?
I was first year out of college, so I was 23 years old.
Okay.
No idea. I've been to Austin a handful of times. Never gone to Hippie Hollow.
All right.
So my friend, who's a bartender in Austin, thinks it's hilarious to send me and another friend of mine who are both visiting him in town while he goes out to work and says, hey, you guys should go to Hippie Hollow and hang out.
People doing bits.
What,
Yeah.
he didn't go?
No, he didn't go.
Well, how funny is that? You don't get to see how awful it turns out.
Well, so me and my friend, who he's more uncomfortable about, like, open nudity than I am.
Okay.
We get in the car and we're driving out to this place, Hippie Hollow. And so we get there, and here's the first like indicator. When we arrive at the parking lot for Hippie Hollow, the guy at the booth who took our cash, which I'm used to paying to go swim. That was done in East Texas as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
Powder State Park, you have to pay to get in to go swim.
Yeah.
I get all that. He goes, here's the deal. You got to keep your trunks on in the parking lot. And I was like,
what?
that's weird.
Yeah.
But I thought it's like a weird way of saying like you can't like change clothes in the parking lot.
Yeah, you can't come
makes
in
sense.
jeans or anything.
Yeah. And
right.
so I said, I already got them on.
Yeah.
Already got them on. Covered.
Problem
Done.
solved.
I'm good, man.
Yeah. So
Don't worry about me.
Again, completely oblivious. Park the car, get out, me and my friend walking down, towel over our shoulders, flip-flops on. And then off in the distance, we see 2 guys sitting on a log. And again, they're not on the beaten path. They're kind of like off 20 or 30 feet from the beaten path.
Yeah.
And they're sitting pretty close, and you can tell out of your peripheral they're not wearing any clothes.
Sure.
And I go, whoa. But you know what? It's Austin. I don't know what the rules are, but that's not my fight. Like,
Sure.
I'm not going to be like, hey, this is a family establishment.
Yeah, you're not going to go over and say anything.
No. So I just
Like,
keep
whatever.
I just keep walking. I figure they think they're far enough away, and clearly they are not. Right. And we get down to the beach.
This is like being at a gym.
Yeah.
Where there's always some guy that's just like not observing the rules of
It's
polite
a guy
society.
screaming and working
Yeah.
out. Yeah. What are you going to do? You're not going to go
Well, I
tell
mean,
him to
more
be
in the
quiet.
changing room. Like, there's always some guy that gets out of the shower is like, dude, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Give
he
me a
does
break
like
here.
he has a towel around his neck.
Yeah.
And
You
so
know what that towel's for.
yeah. And so we get down to the actual beach, and on the actual beach, it is again just that's when it clicks. Okay, I'm the one out of place, but I've already paid.
Well,
And
wait,
so-
you're wearing your trunks at this point.
Yeah, I'm wearing my trunks.
Okay.
Trunks and
So you're
shirt.
committed.
You are out of place.
Yeah.
How much
I'm
was
at a
it to
place.
get? How much was it?
Like
Again?
$10.
That's $10 I'd eat.
No,
That's $10 I'd.
For me, I figure, you know what?
I'm
Because again,
going.
I was big. That's how my friend felt, by the way. But I had the keys. So I was like, you know what? When in Rome. How often do we get a chance to not
Fair enough.
creepily stumble in to a situation like this?
Yeah.
And again, no one there was remotely my age. They're all like 50s and plus.
Well, sure. Like, that's not a place where you're trying to impress anybody in any way.
Yeah, I had no desire of talking to anyone there about like having a drink on 6th Street later on.
Right.
So I went ahead and went in Rome, down with the shorts.
Sure.
Walked into the water, swam, felt great. freeing. It was relaxing. I had a good time. My
Water's
friend,
cold in Austin.
Yeah, well, it was chilly.
Yeah.
My friend sat on top of a rock, like
a buzzard,
had eagle vision the entire time, as if some 50-year-old man was going to come up and club him and drag him off to a van.
The floor is lava. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, he did not have a good time. I thought it was fine. Everyone was nice and friendly, and it was not in any way sexual in any capacity. But that's how I accidentally stumbled into a nudist colony.
I mean, it wasn't all that accidental, though. Like once once you got there, you were all in.
You had the choice.
Yeah,
you
always have a
parachuted
choice.
in.
No, you always have a choice. But by the time you're there, you've already paid, you're already in, you've already seen the unfortunateness that was out there on display.
Right.
Go ahead and join them.
I guess at some point you do develop. You automatically pick up that kind of horse blinder thing, right? Where you're just like, I'm not really paying attention to anybody else.
My thing.
I'm just doing my thing.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be me, and that's cool. Yeah, I guess I can get behind
There's
that.
got to be someone in the comments who backs me up that they would have done the exact same thing.
My phone died. I can't tell. Are there? How are the wandering eyes? Yeah, how was that?
No one.
Oh, I mean for you. You find yourself.
There
just
was
kinda,
no reason to wonder.
Well, you shouldn't. Yeah, that's, naturally you shouldn't. But I was
It was
just
like being
curious.
out at Fossil Rim, Safari Park.
Yeah.
Is that nudist as well?
No, I'm just saying, you're taking in the wildlife.
Right.
Yeah, because again, it was like the youngest person there besides me and my friend, 55.
Yeah.
And everyone else was significantly older than that.
Right.
So it was definitely the old school, we're at Woodstock hippies.
Yeah.
That were there.
These are actual hippies.
Yeah, and it was not oh wow, this is, it was not that.
I think I'd meet you in the middle. I wouldn't eat that $10, but it would depend on who I was with. All right. If I was with somebody who I was relatively comfortable, like with Christine or something, yeah, I'd probably do it. Yeah. If I was, I don't know, with a couple other people who I'm not super cool with, maybe not. But you're in Austin with a friend. You went there together. Yeah. Like you clearly have a relationship in which you're willing to, keep things. Civil. I was gonna say civil. Candid, I guess is what I'm looking for. Yeah. I could get behind it. It's not that crazy.
Oh, there you go. Amanda says I would have. So there you go.
I would have.
Yeah. So there you go. Someone at least back to it. Because to me, that was a story you know what? Okay. I would never purposely seek that out.
Yeah.
I would never go, you know what I want to do today? I want to go to a nudist colony.
I've heard of people, because I know people that have gone to it before, but they've said it's very much a when in Rome situation. But they did specifically go to Hippie Hollow to try it out. But they were like, well, it's in Austin. It's right there. People say it's cool. I got nothing to do on a Saturday. I'll go check it out.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, it's different.
I don't have anything against it.
It's an experience.
I never accidentally ended up in that situation.
Yeah.
Well, when you do, I suggest just lean
just
into
go
it.
with it.
Lean
Just
into
go
it.
Keep your trunks on in the parking lot.
Yeah.
It'll make a
the
great
only thing.
story.
Yeah.
It was a
Trunks
free experience that I thoroughly enjoyed with hindsight.
Sure.
And on that note, another successful lunch break show. You can join us again.
Successful?
Ish.
Successful?
We had two very phenomenal guests on. We were awful, but the guests were great. You can always watch this again on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitter after
We
we're
also
done.
will be posting the audio version. I've been rolling on this, so
Perfect.
the audio
Nice.
version, look up the lunch break on any of your favorite podcast applications. It'll probably be there in a day or so.
Ish. All right. Again, thanks so much. See you guys on Wednesday.